Hi there. Today I want to talk to you about how nutrition and dietary supplementation play a supporting role in the chiropractic adjustment. And I really see that role coming from a place of the why. So why do we subluxate? And that really ties into this diagram here behind me. So when we talk about the cause of subluxation, we really start with this failure to adapt. So it's inputs coming into our system that we're unable to integrate or adapt to, and hence subluxation results. And there's three factors that can push us towards this threshold. The first being toxins, second thoughts, and third trauma. And it could be a combination of all three of those or any one of those that might drive our system to threshold where we're unable to adapt and subluxation occurs. So we're gonna go ahead and start with toxins and address how nutrition and supplementation plays into that. So we're gonna start with organics. So when someone's eating a conventional diet of fruits and vegetables, those are crops that are raised with pesticides and herbicides being sprayed on them. And so then as you're intaking those vegetables or those fruits, that's direct toxins that you're putting into your system that your body then has to process, right? And we're being driven towards, or have the chance of being driven towards threshold when those toxin levels in our body become more than we're able to adapt to. And second, we can look at this in terms of organ support, and so that has to do a lot more with supplementation, but the idea that liver support, adrenal support, kidney support, these are all systems of the body that are filtering, right? And so adequate nutrition and adequate supplementation of those systems so that they're able to do their role in the body and do it effectively is really critical, or else, once again, we're driven towards threshold if our body isn't able to process the toxins coming in. We'll go on to thoughts next. In this case, we'll start with some current research on the gut-brain axis, and what they're finding is that when if you have an allergen to gluten, right, and you're putting that allergen into your body, you have a direct connection from the brain via the vagus nerve to the gut. And so if you're putting that allergen in, the vagus nerve is actually sampling that and then taking that back up to the brain, and what you have is the results a lot of people with a gluten allergy will relate to, called brain fog, where you kind of have that fuzzy feeling. So there again, that's a direct correlation between what we eat and how it affects our brain and cognitive function. The second would be fat. So the microbiome in our gut is responsible for producing the fats that our brain then operates off of. So if we're not taking care of that biome in terms of supplementation with pre or probiotics, that's gonna not allow that bacteria down there to do its job and be able to support brain function. The last would be trauma. In this case, it's best to look at it from a developmental standpoint. Take the case of a young child. If they're not getting adequate supplementation or adequate nutrition growing up, that's going to lead to poor development of their musculoskeletal system, which in the end, as an adult, they're not going to be able to withstand the trauma and be able to adapt to that trauma as well as they might have had they had adequate developmental growth. So, in summary, when we're looking at the role that nutrition and supplementation play in supporting the chiropractic adjustment, it's really looking at, well, why are our patients subluxating in the first place, right? And let's address this cause of subluxation by addressing these three factors through a nutritional standpoint or a supplementation standpoint. So I just want to thank you for your time and for listening to this presentation.